Oh, hello. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Jenna. How you doing today?
I am doing very well. How are you?
I am fantastic now. Work day is coming to an end. It's time to drink some whiskey.
Time to
Can't
drink
really
some
complain.
whiskey. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm excited for today's little tasting. Well, not so
I wouldn't say little.
tasting. So I just wanted to say hey to everyone who is here. Welcome to our October Outturn preview tasting. We have some really awesome, drams to talk about today and kick off the month of October, which is, I think, my favorite month of the year. I love October. It's spooky season. Are you into that stuff at all?
I don't know. I'm into it. I think it's one of my favorite months because I know next month is when Christmas season starts. So November 1 hits and all the decorations go up.
Okay, so you're anxiously waiting for Christmas music to come on.
Mm-hmm.
I see. See, I love all the spooky stuff. I love watching all the Halloween movies, and it's like when Southern California starts to get a little bit cooler towards the end of the month. So I'm excited for it. And I think we have some really awesome whiskeys to kind of kickstart spooky season.
I mean, typically here in Orlando, we have a bunch of spooky stuff going on at the theme parks. And unfortunately, obviously this year, those are some of our favorite nights here. You have a few drinks of whiskey, you go to the haunted houses and everything, and the weather's cool and perfect time to have some whiskey and going outside. But we'll pause to that. But
exactly. And I think, we'll do our best to, have a good spooky time today. So I just wanted to say hi to everyone. Tom R, always first, and always a joy to see you here. Vesper Tiger, hello. We have Gregor, and I am Darius Stone says, I am ready to buy some more whiskey. All right, well,
cheers to that.
I think we can help you out on that. We have David here from Chicago. We have Bill here, who is currently enjoying a Ye Old Fish Mines of Norwich. That was a tasty, tasty dram. So Dale's here. Pickly Dew is back from sea. Hello. We got Dale. Wow, we got the whole crew here today. This is pretty awesome. Tom R called it Malttober.
Malttober,
I like that.
Okay.
Malttober. That's a good one. I've not
heard of that before.
Yeah, I'm gonna bank that and reuse that. I think that's a good one. So, well, now that we've said hello to everyone and we've got to talk about all of our spooky things, I think we have 7 whiskeys to taste today.
It's a lot to drink.
It is. It's a little bit bigger than what we normally taste, but we have some really cool stuff coming out. So we thought, why not kind of kick off Malttober with with some great drams. So I say we kind of kick it off and, get into tasting some of these. But before we do that, I did want to mention our 30.111 lottery, which has officially ended. And at some point in this hour that you all are spending with us, that winning email will go out. So keep an eye on your inboxes over the next hour or so. We will be sending out our first wave of selections for those who have won in the 30.111 lottery. And if you have any questions about that particular whiskey, or kind of want to know what the tasting notes are, you can go back on our YouTube channel where myself and Tom and Ben we get into that a little bit. So feel free to jump back after this is over and watch that if you are curious about that. So, Steve A says emails are out. So we will, kind of cruise through this, and then you all can go and check your email and see if you won.
Whiskey's not going anywhere. It's reserved.
The whiskey's not going anywhere. Yes, it's reserved. So, all right. So let's kick this off. You ready? I'm ready.
I've been ready since we started.
Oh gosh, you're way ahead of me. All right. So let's get started. So the first one that we are going to be tasting today is Cask 68.43, excuse me. When Life Gives You Lemons. This is an 11-year Highland in our spicy and sweet flavor profile, and this clocks in at 55.6% ABV. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is such a 2020 whiskey, When Life Gives You Lemons. I feel like that's all we've been given this year are a bunch of rotten lemons. So
absolutely.
All right. Ooh, malty. I can't get that Malttober out of my head. All right. So what you getting? Ooh, I'm getting just this like overwhelming like lemon biscuit notes on this.
Man.
Yeah, I mean it's literally like a lemon.
It's like a
biscuit,
citrus bomb, like lemon cake, lemon pound cake, like a.
Yeah, super citrus forward, but there is like a real maltiness to this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it was put in my head, so it's like subliminal, or if it's but I really am getting a really nice maltiness to this, which I've been really enjoying. We've been seeing a lot of that profile in our Young and Sprightly flavor profile, so it's kind of nice to see it pop up here in Spicy and Sweet. So this is so this was actually distilled in October too, October 17th, 2008. So this is from a first fill ex bourbon hogshead, and this one is going to be at $105. So. All right.
I think the malt gives it a nice little backbone too. It's not just it's very well integrated into the whiskey.
Yeah, it's like it makes it not one dimensional. It's like you can really kind of find a nice balance of different aromas in there. So gosh, you're way ahead of me. All right, cheers.
That carries over quite well.
First whiskey of the week.
First whiskey of the day.
It really does. I think that. So.
It lets you know it's there. I'll tell you that.
It does. It's not shy.
55%. Yeah, it's not shy at all.
Yeah, it is. It is not. It's not a shy 55.6% whiskey. But yeah, I think the nose and palate on this match really well.
Yeah. I'll say too, the 55, it's definitely showing itself, but it's not on the finish. You're not swallowing ethanol. There's not a burn as it goes down. It's more on the front palate and the mid palate, if anything, adding more of a spicy sensation than a hot or a heat driven ethanol.
Yeah, I think that this is, it's so funny because I love whiskeys where the nose and palate match, but I also love whiskeys where the nose and palate don't match. And so I think
this is experiences. Crazy.
And I think this is just a really good kind of classic representation of, 68. And I don't know, that's a really nice whiskey to start with. I really do like that malty, biscuity.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a.
I'm wondering how this would taste with just like a nice shortbread biscuit. Yeah. Just having it right next to each other.
Or this would be good on oatmeal. Just
on
a little drizzle on your oatmeal. I don't know. I'm like an oatmeal fanatic. So
no milk, no water, just whiskey.
Yeah, just whiskey. Just heat up the whiskey on your stovetop to make your oatmeal with. We are not recommending that, by the way.
No.
Yeah, this
David
is really nice.
Markovitz says he's really enjoying the recent availability of cask strength Distillery 68. I'm with him there. I'm sure I've probably got a dozen different bottles of Distillery 68, all from different bottlers, from distillery releases to a multitude of bottlings from us. It's just.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan of what they do. Anytime I see the 68s, I always say, "Oh, Zach's gonna get to that."
Oh
yeah. So, yeah, this is a great whiskey to start with. I'm happy.
I'm gonna add a little water and see if it does anything.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna add too much.
Go for it. Yeah, go for it. I think that
my handy dandy water dropper.
Your straw.
Only the best for me here.
Oh, I'm already on the second one. I'm trying to rush you.
It's cutting it's definitely cutting that citrus and lemon down. It brings
are you getting
like a rind, like a lemon rind with a little bit of zest on it versus like citrus juice.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Dan Cleric said this sounds very October. And yeah, this is just like a good fall, like kind of weather's cool and you've just baked some kind of biscuit in your oven, or cookie in your oven, and your house smells really good, and I don't know, or you've just poured it on your oatmeal.
Or you just had whiskey oatmeal for breakfast.
There you go.
It's all it takes.
Yeah, this is a great one. I'm stoked on this. Yeah.
Well, we've got plenty more ahead, so I'm not going to get too caught up on it because I know there's plenty of yumminess in front of us.
There is. I'm looking at it right now, and it's
me too.
it's quite exciting. So, all right. So that was again 68.43, 11-year Highland at 55.6% ABV. When life gives you lemons. So, round one. All right, so we're going to move into our next one. And this particular distillery is quite popular with a bunch of members. I know whenever we see this number pop up, we have a lot of people who are quite curious and interested in this particular distillery. And I'm excited to see it in that juicy oak and vanilla flavor profile, which...
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it in the juicy oak and vanilla profile, to be honest.
Yeah, so this has been, a flavor profile that's been really impressing me as of late. So it's always nice to, see these. So this one is Cask 26.136 Candy Floss and Carousels. This is an 8-year Highland from a second fill ex bourbon barrel at 59.6% ABV. I love that name, Candy Floss and Carousels.
Yeah. It's reminding me of like a little carnival or something.
Yeah. Makes me think of Mary Poppins.
I literally used that line just the other day. We were listening to a song. I think it was like a Frank Sinatra song. And I was like, it really reminds me of Mary Poppins. No idea why.
Yeah, that's what kind of comes to mind. When they're on are they on like a carousel? And anyway, there's dancing penguins.
I mean, it might be just because I heard the name, but right in the nose, if you catch it right in the center, it smells like cotton candy.
Yeah, I can definitely see that like candied element to this for sure. Yeah.
Like pink peppercorns almost, like a little sweet pink peppercorn.
I don't know what it is about this profile, but I feel like the juicy oak and vanilla like expressions that we've put out have actually smelled like juicy, like in your nose. Like there is like a round, like very juicy quality to them on the nose. And I don't know, this one definitely has that. And I really enjoy that. So
it reminds me of smelling juicy fruit. You don't know what juicy smells like until you bite into some juicy fruit and that just hits you straight in the nose.
There you go.
That sort of like aroma is kind of what this gives off.
Yeah, that's a great descriptor for that.
There's a little bit of waxiness, I think, coming obviously from the distillery, but it's not too overpowering.
Yeah, I don't find this to be like a huge wax bomb like some of the other, 26s that we've had, but there is like a very subtle waxiness to it, like a beeswax kind of waxiness to this.
That's a good call. Like a honeycomb kind of like a honey where it's still on the comb. Yeah.
For sure. Almost kind of like chapstick. Like there are certain chapsticks that have that like that's basically what I'm getting here.
Well,
all right, I'm giving it a taste. Cheers.
Wow. Okay. Well, that was completely different than it was on the nose. Interesting.
I'm gonna put in here. This man.
The oh man.
Yeah, this is not what I was expecting. See? Nose and palate do not match here, and is
not even close.
Brilliant surprise. Wow. All right, I'm gonna. Tell me what you're getting before I read the tasting notes. I don't want to read. I haven't read the tasting notes on this, and I don't want to yet.
I'm almost getting like a barnyard kind of palate, but not funk. It's straight like you ever walk to a petting zoo and the petting zoo hits you in the nose. That's what it tastes like. But it's got a little bit of citrus to it. There's still the maltiness to it. There's a little bit of vanilla going on, but man, that's interesting.
It's very interesting. And I think the way it feels on the palate, it's definitely that round, juicy, oaky, like vanilla profile. But there's almost like, so on Distillery 33, I get this like kind of industrial, almost kind of quality. And I'm finding a very faint hint of that here. And I think that's what's throwing me for a curve. Because there's like a, man, I don't know what that is, but it's like, I'm totally on board for this.
Man.
I'm going to read the tasting notes. You ready?
Yes, please do.
We'll see if they match up. So it says chili chocolate and peppercorns combined with candy floss, toffee apples, and the beeswax polished oak of Waltzers alongside fruity sweets.
Yep.
I definitely get that beeswax more on the nose than on the palate. But man, that is so interesting and not what I was expecting.
Not at all.
That's a good surprise. That is a good treat.
Those peppercorns come through, though. This is more of a black peppercorn on the palate than the sweeter pink one I got on the nose.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that.
It's rounded spice too. It's not just like a sting. It's not burning my mouth.
It's not like that capsaicin kind of burn. It's like, it's more aromatic. It's like an aromatic peppercorn on this. This is wild. But in that sweetness, there is like a very faint little sweet quality to this, whether it's, I do really like the toffee apple reference. I think that is a kind of good comparison. But yeah, that's a fun one. Scotch for Dummy says, I need to hide my wallet from myself.
I need to hide mine too.
Yeah. I was talking with some members who, have their cards memorized. And I'm like, I feel like that's so bad because I would just be like, if I had it memorized, I don't want to memorize it.
Let me just put it in real quick. While I remember it. Gives me that extra time to have to think about if I really want to spend it or not.
David asked, any chance we'll see a bottle from Distillery 61? That's a good question. I haven't looked far enough, down the road to see kind of what's coming, but, never say never.
Never say never, that's for sure. Yeah. But I think we'd all be happy to see one.
I think so as well. And let's see, John R says he was happy that he got the Gathering 26 bottle. Yeah, but we did have one of our Gathering bottles was from Distillery 26. A little bit older and a little bit different, but this particular one just is super expressive and very unique. So if you are a fan of 26, this would kind of be a fun one to dig into.
I definitely think so as well.
Yeah, that is I'm stoked on that one. So, all right. So to wrap this one up, 26.136 Candy Floss in Carousels, 8-year Highland at 59.6% ABV from a second fill ex-bourbon barrel.
That, even now you saying that at 8 years old,
yeah,
that's really, wow. That's even more impressive.
Yeah, I think it shows older than the number indicates, which goes to show you that age is really just a number. You can have whiskeys at a young age that, blow your socks off, or, you can have older whiskeys that, are disappointing. There's great whiskey out there at every age. So, all right. So we're cruising.
Yes.
Are you ready for number 3 or do you want to take a break?
I'm ready.
All right.
It's exciting me.
So number 3. I haven't even poured number 3 yet. I'm way behind.
You are behind.
I'm so behind. All right. So speaking of lemons again, that's the theme, I guess, this year. Lemons is. All right. So our third will be Cask 58.38. This is a 7-year Speyside in a second fill ex-bourbon barrel at 62.4% ABV, and this is called In a Sunny Lemon Grove. And this is in our young and sprightly flavor profile, which I've been quite the fan of.
That I know that's up your alley. So
yeah,
I'll tell you right now, 62.5% doesn't smell like it. It's very lively. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I'm getting more of like that saltwater taffy, almost element to this.
I'm actually getting some I would say red floral notes. Not interesting.
Yeah, I could see like the stone fruit, almost like a apricot, plum. Like tart. It's like a fruit tart.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, like the way a fruit tart tastes is the way that this smells. Oh.
It's very reminiscent of the 68 in the citrus on the nose, but I think it's mellowed out a lot by a lot more. It's not even malty. It's tart. It's like crispy pastry. There's a lot more fruit to it.
I agree with you completely. I think that this is definitely a more tart nose. That's a great way to describe it. Super it's a fruit basket.
Yeah.
All right, well.
And cheers on this one. I'm excited for this.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That is jammy. I'm getting like fruit jam just the whole way through.
It's a very fruity whiskey.
Wow. Yes. So if you're a fan of those kind of big fruit bombs, but I would say this isn't like red fruits, like deep kind of darker fruits. This is more like your apricot, plum, like your marmalade, your lemons. I think that more kind of citrus forward.
Also very ripe fruits. They're very, very fresh. You're not getting stewed. You're not getting thick, heavy, dark fruits.
Yeah, I agree completely. I don't have my water dropper in front of me, so we're going to have to rely on you for water analysis.
It really mellows out the citrus notes. I mean, it gets a lot fruitier. The red fruits are a lot more potent.
Yeah, I think that I think the tasting notes are kind of really spot on too. It says the aroma, attractive chalky sweets, citrus and shy floral notes to taste nuances of zingy lemon, gooseberry, and plum. So I think I think that's pretty spot on. It is a lemon curd, lime curd, just
pretty good.
It's so zesty.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really pretty good call out. That lemon curd right there is that lemon and lime curd. Interesting.
Like key lime pie?
Yes. Like fresh key lime pie juice.
There you go.
Oh.
The way that your mouth kind of feels after you've had like a big citrus bomb or like really zesty piece of key lime pie. That is what I'm sure you get great key lime pie living where you are.
Yes.
You're not far from the Keys.
You're not. But it is. I mean, it really is. It's like I have to go get some key lime juice for something to bake. And this tastes like when you put that on your tongue After you finish it, it explodes into your mouth. And that's what this is like, almost identically.
Yeah, this is that just, I mean, if you're a fan of those big citrus whiskeys, this is it. So 58.38 in a sunny lemon grove, 7-year Speyside at 62.4% ABV. And that is in our young and sprightly flavor profile. I think that is perfect. I think that is exactly where I would put this. It is young, it is sprightly, it is zesty.
Sure is.
And that's it.
All right. What do we got coming up next? We got some more exciting stuff.
I know. So we have 3 down. We have 4 to go. And all right. I haven't poured any of these ahead of time. I'm so behind. I'm sorry. All right.
Oh, I have not either. So we are off scratch here.
All right. Well, we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants.
Whoa. I just smelled a Sharpie marker, and it's amazing.
A Sharpie marker.
You know when you pop that cap off and it's just, but in a good way. It's that, that smell that keeps you wanting more. You can't stop smelling it. Oh,
right.
Sorry. This has been
so our next one, Sharpie marker, is no, I'm kidding. All right, so the 4th one that we are going to be tasting from today's lineup is Cask 1.226. This is called Salad Undressing. It is an 8-year Speyside at 58.4% ABV from a first fill ex-bourbon barrel. And this is in our spicy and dry flavor profile, which, you know.
These spicy and dries have really been hitting the mark here lately.
They really have, yeah. I don't want to read the tasting notes on this yet, so I'm going to turn it away.
Oh, my God. What are those cookies you just...
Oh, that's...
Ooh, friends are here. Sorry. I don't know. Man, what are they?
Sharpie.
They're like, it's like ginger snap cookies.
Yes. There is a spiced quality to this, like a clovey, nutmeg, gingery spice to this.
Yum.
Ooh, fun. This is good, like getting holiday ready whiskey.
Yes.
So let's see if nose and palate on this match.
Oh, I'm curious.
Bill says, hooray, finally won me an orange bottle. An orange bottle. Meyer is here. Hello, hello. I haven't said hi to everyone. Evan Belt. Nice to see you here, Evan. Yeah, this is like a nose that you just want to keep smelling.
Yeah.
But there is that Sharpie quality to this.
There is.
It's like
crazy.
You're coloring with Sharpies, which I wouldn't recommend. I would recommend Crayola if you're going to be coloring. But you're coloring with Sharpies while baking ginger snap cookies.
I like it.
There you go.
I mean, it's like, it's crazy watching like Great British Bake Off when they say they want to hear a snap out of a cookie. Like, this smells like a cookie that has like a lot of spices in it and it's not chewy, it's hard. So when you break it, it's like
crunchy.
Yeah, it's not a soft cookie. It's not like very sweet flavors or aromas. Oh, it's very spice forward, but baking spices, not like pepper or peppercorn or anything like that.
And the palate is just that. It is very spice forward. It is like, it tastes like it would be a good snap of a cookie.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is, and I love that it's an ex-bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. This is a good, whiskey for tailgating into the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Really is.
Yeah.
Man, I need to add some more to this because this one is exciting here.
I really do like that ginger snap element to this. I think it's both on the nose and on the palate. You don't really get the Sharpie on the palate, which I guess is a good thing.
Yeah. I can't say that'd be something I'd want.
Do you think it's like Biscoff, the cookies, like the
Yeah,
Biscoff
I think
cookies?
Todd and Jim just said Biscoff, and I was trying to think of it. Yeah, I mean, probably a little bit stronger in spice than Biscoff, but that type of cookie for sure, or biscuit.
Yeah, like the cookies you get on the plane. Oh, to be on a plane! I can't wait to do that again.
I remember.
I know. I can't wait to get those and sit in my seat. And oh, man, I'm looking forward to that next year. And let's see. So, how many bottles are in tomorrow's Outturn, Zach? Do you know off the top of your head? How many different casks we're releasing tomorrow?
I know we'll be showing all of them at the end again. I think it's like just under 20.
Okay.
Just for the beginning of the month for sure.
Yeah, and I think we have a really awesome selection. I know we've had quite a few members giving us a call about some peated whiskeys, and we'll be able to kind of hit that mark for you tomorrow. So just tuned at the end, we'll be able to put the whole list up so you can see all of the surprises for tomorrow's Outturn. Yeah, this is awesome.
This is fun.
I'm going to read the tasting notes and see if those kind of match up. But it's a straightforward, vibrant, and delicious. Abundant notes of spiced fruits, earthiness, grasses, minerals, fresh herbs, and citrus oils. It's like being on Delta with your Sharpies.
Yeah, that's all it is. All you need is your snaps on a flight, and we're good.
There you go. I really like how we paint a picture when it comes to these whiskeys.
Can you imagine us right now sitting on a Delta flight with one giant Sharpie in one hand and some ginger snap cookies in the other, and we're just in our seat like
on our way to Scotland.
Yum. I'm fine with that. Let's go to Scotland.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I mean, we got to get there anyways, so.
We do. We had to cancel our trips there this year.
I know.
I know there's so many. I feel like I've talked to so many people who are like, I should be in Scotland right now. And I'm like, I know it's terrible. So hopefully
we replan it for next year and then we'll go.
That is the hope. So yeah. So I'm a fan of this. Well done. So to recap, this is 1.226 salad undressing, 8-year Speyside in our spicy and dry flavor profile at 58.4% ABV in a first fill ex-bourbon barrel.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this is a really good one. I am all for it. All right. Whew. I'm going to take a water break.
Yeah, I think I can use one of those.
Kind of cleanse my palate. I feel like I should have those water crackers here. You know, like when you do like tastings, like long kind of hall tastings.
Yeah.
And
some water crackers and some coffee beans in a little cup so we can like eat the crackers and sniff the coffee beans. And
I just have coffee beans on my desk, but I don't have them in my immediate reach. But I do keep them. I should. But they also say that you can, smell the inside of your arm.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
My camera. Right. To reset your nose, just to give your arm a good whiff. All right.
Good old.
That's enough arm smell and talk.
Wow. What do we got coming up next then?
All right. So our next one is a distillery that I feel is becoming more popular, amongst not just only us here at the society, but amongst members as well. I'm getting, at least in what I've, who I've spoken with, more questions about it and just more interest in it. So it's nice to see these kind of coming up. And I know you said that you were a fan of this one, which I have not tasted yet.
I definitely cheated. I'm a sucker for these casks, not necessarily the distillery, but the cask type. And as soon as I got it, I knew I had to taste it. So all you guys out there better save me a bottle that I can buy, because I know.
right. Let me. Well, would you like to introduce this one, since you've been able to taste it and have a moment?
I can.
All right, go for it.
So Cask 95.37 is called Adventurous African Safari. It is in our sweet, fruity, and mellow profile, which is really hitting my flavor profile lately. And initially in the ex-bourbon hogshead for 5 years before it goes into the second fill charred ex-red wine barrique. And it's at 62%. It's only 7 years old, but man.
This is.
Let me tell you, 62% is up there. With the amount of whiskey I taste, high ABVs is really hard, especially 62, 64, 65. So this one almost put me off at first. And then I tasted it. And I mean, I'm drinking like 54%, 53%, a giant fruit cake. And I mean, it is just, oh.
Okay, this smells like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
It is unbelievable. Yummy.
This is so.
I'm gonna mark it with my yummy.
Wow. Like I'm getting just like bread and jam, and not like that artificial peanut butter, but
yeah.
I mean, I love peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I had one for dinner the other night.
Today. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'm getting just straight up PB&J on this.
You know what it is?
Like more jam than peanut butter, but
it's the Smucker's jars. I think it's Smucker's that when we were kids came out, and it was like a line of peanut butter, a line of jelly, a line of peanut butter, a line of jelly.
Yeah.
That's what it smells like.
Wow.
Oh. I mean, it also almost gets me, and this is completely off the beaten path. You ever go to a Japanese restaurant or a sushi restaurant and they have Wagyu, where they bring out the little like coal fire rock, and it's really hot, and they give you the raw Wagyu that's like super thin, and you stick it on the rock and cook it, and you flip it over like 30 seconds later. It's super juicy. It's super like marbleized and fatty. There's so much flavor when you bite in, but it's very light flavor. It's very aromatic. This smells kind of like that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, it's like buttery. it's not gamey. It's not chewy, but there's very buttery, rich steak kind of Wagyu flavors going on. But then it's followed up by a massive like strawberry cheesecake ice cream bar.
Goober. That's what it's called, right?
Goober. Yes, that's the
Goober.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's it? Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Les.
Goober. So the nose on this whiskey is of goober.
Yes.
And
goober and Wagyu.
Fine meats.
And a little bit of butter.
I definitely get that. I can see that butteriness for sure. There is a definite like drawn butter element to this.
Oh.
Wow. I'm going to taste it now. Cheers.
Cheers. It's goober. It's like eating goober with a spoon.
OMG.
It is these charred wine casks.
I know.
It is literally so in your face. To me, I love wine casks, especially recharred wine casks. It just ignites that flavor. And this shows so well. Oh,
I agree with you completely. Nose and palate on this match beautifully.
Yes.
And I'm getting like grape jam.
Yep.
And I mean, this is not a profile that you see in a lot of whiskey.
No.
And it is goober. It's
great
all the way through.
There's no other way to say it.
That is fantastic.
What do the tasting notes say? I'm actually curious. I didn't happen to read those. So
I have not either. So this says, imagine sitting in a safari lodge eating rum and raisin ice cream topped with raspberry sauce, smoking a cigar, watching the sunset over the savannah. And this one was actually distilled in October as well. October 18th, 2012. Yeah, this is a very interesting and a very unique profile, and it's been really interesting to see what these red wine barriques, contribute to the actual malt itself. I remember, I think the first red wine barrique that I ever tasted from the society was Creaking Ships Lost in the Fog.
Oh,
that one was a 29
yeah,
in an X
29, yeah.
Yeah, in an red wine barrique, and I was just like floored, totally blown away by that whiskey, and that's what got me curious about this particular cask. And I know we've had some, since then. I think that was back in 2018, but I know since then we've had quite a few that, have been aged in that kind of cask that have just been absolutely stellar.
Oh,
this
is good. Man, it's even better the second time around.
Yeah, this is special.
Oh.
I can't get that goober out of my head though. Maltober and goober is the theme here today.
Someone said this should have been the name. This should be named Goober on a Safari.
There you go.
Safari Goobers. I don't know. Man, we should be naming these.
Yeah, Evan was talking about Creaking Ships Lost in the Fog too, or Lost in the Fog. That was a great whiskey. It's kind of sad that they disappear after they're gone. These single cask. I know.
Silly how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, science. Man, now you got me thinking about a freaking red wine cask Isla. That sounds like it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, it was very good. So I will admit that after this tasting is through and I go have lunch, I will be having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Strictly because of this whiskey.
I have to say, Evan just brought up, he's asking if we got the Wagyu on the taste or just the nose. Definitely just on the nose. I think it transitioned a lot more into the fruitier side of things on the palate. I mean, they mentioned the cigar smoking. You get a lot of like earthy tobacco kind of notes. But that buttery kind of fatty, thin steak kind of deal, really, it's not there much at all. But I think it transitioned to the flavors that also worked well with the fruit. I don't think it changed off the beaten path to anything nasty by any means.
Yeah, this is a really fun one. And Andrew, hi Andrew, made a statement but then there's a new cask to love in the future, and that's so true. I couldn't agree more. So
true.
All right. Well, how many do we have left? 2, 3, 2. That's 5.
7. Yeah, that was 5, I guess. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 2 more. Quick water break. All right,
I didn't even add water to that one.
Yeah, no, I think that one is.
That's the most drinkable 62% alcohol I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, we've had a few. One of the recent 95s that I loved was Herbal Bouquet, and I thought that one was in our spicy and dry flavor profile. I think I have one back here somewhere. Actually, I have 2 back here. I think that one was just really spot on and stellar. And that one was at a really, I think, 66% ABV. And it was, so calm and tame, as far as that goes. So, all right. So to cap this one off, Adventurous African Safari, 7-year Speyside. Initial cask is ex-bourbon hogshead, and then it goes into a second fill ex-red wine barrique at 62% ABV. And that is in our sweet, fruity, and mellow flavor profile.
Oh.
Goober. Goober in a bottle. All right, so shall we get into some sherry?
We can.
Yeah.
Try.
All right. I know we have quite a few members out there who love a good sherry cask. So we had to make sure that we included one of those in today's tasting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right. So let me get this. Well, that was a good cork pop on that one. All right. So our next one coming up is Cask 7.237 Nutty by Nature. This is a 12-year Speyside in a first fill X sherry butt at 58.4% ABV. And this is in our deep, rich, and dried fruits flavor profile, which I know is quite popular amongst not only our staff, but our members as well.
I got to say, right on the nose, it smells like Oloroso. 100%.
Ooh.
Oof. It's there.
Wow.
A yummy, spicy nuttiness.
You know what this smells like? Like when you're at like Disneyland or Disney World and they're making like funnel cakes or some kind of like those sweets. It smells like sweets, like those baked sweets you get at a theme park.
This smells like caramel drizzle that they put on the ice cream that hardens on top.
Yeah, and there's like a nutty quality to this, which is why I can agree that you would lean towards Oloroso. It has more of that nutty profile. It's like a candied praline funnel cake. Yeah, it makes me want to go on the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, man, I want to do that now.
What is your favorite ride at Disney?
I don't know. I normally just go to walk around Epcot and drink around the world.
Oh, all right.
My favorite has to be, though, I will say, last time I was a couple times ago when I was in LA, I went to Disneyland, and it happened to be during the holidays where Haunted Mansion was actually dressed up like Nightmare Before Christmas. That was great. That was probably one of my favorites. And then Pirates of the Caribbean is always fun because it just smells.
Always a classic.
Yeah, and there's a smell to it, and it just smells fantastic. It smells like you're on vacation. Yeah,
that they can recreate that smell in two separate places, and it's exactly the same. So
they started smelling candles actually that are like
really
after some of the lobbies of some of the hotels that have distinguishable scents to them.
Interesting. I only ask because I know you're in Florida, and I know you've gone to Disney quite a few times, so I had to ask.
I think I live a total of 1.2 miles away from Magic Kingdom.
Wow. So you can walk.
I can. I ride my bike by there sometimes.
Jim says Haunted Mansion or Pirates both have their smells. They do have their smells. Maybe we'll find some Haunted Mansion or some Pirates in these whiskeys that we're tasting.
That would be a cool name for a whiskey. I know actually the Society bottled a bottle a while back in the 33. It was Distillery 33. It was called Beauty and the Beast. So maybe Pirates of the Caribbean one would be kind of cool.
There we go. I am Darius Stone says chlorine. Yes, there's definitely a chlorine aroma to that. All right. So that's what I'm getting. What are you getting?
I was gonna say this is holding strong though on that spicy nuttiness.
I agree.
Oh.
All right. Well, gonna give it a taste.
Yeah. Cheers. Yep. Tastes like peanut brittle. Maybe like more like pecan brittle.
Yeah.
There's like that caramel or toffee on top, but you get that little bit of nut.
Yeah.
Chewy, it's round, it's full.
It is. And I feel like on the finish, you almost get, are you ready for this, Zach?
I'm waiting.
Gushers.
Ooh, are they frozen or room
temperature? I think these are room temperature gushers. And for everyone watching, Zach has given us a great tip on frozen gushers. Mm-hmm. So if anyone out there is a fruit roll-up fan or a Gushers fan, Zach has recommended us put them in the freezer, which I have not tried yet. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm definitely, I'll happily accept them.
You have to freeze them yourself, but.
I will freeze them myself. I will happily accept any Gushers you send my way. So yeah, this definitely, it ends on that kind of like very fruity, but it's like very short. That kind of little pop of fruit is very short at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm definitely getting that. I mean, classic sherry kind of underbelly with that brittle praline kind of, body to it. I love the nose on this whiskey.
It's very fun. I love that Dr. call out though, because it's that chewy fruit that's in the back and it's there for a split second and then it fades.
Yep.
But it gives you a nice complexity and layer that you wouldn't normally get. So
I agree. Fun. Yeah, this definitely has I could smell this all day though. I think the nose on this is absolutely beautiful. And I think it's one of those whiskeys that you can really take your time with, sit back, really just kind of dig into. And yeah. Ooh.
It's just enjoyable. It's one of those that you can smell and it never gets old.
I agree.
Not wanting to put it down or pour it out. It just smells good.
And I think this is also a whiskey that, if you're really into those big sherry bombs, I think this definitely fits that bill. But if you're also kind of getting into those sherry bombs, I think this also fits that bill because it's not overpowering in any way. And I think there's a nice balance of that sherry and, those other profiles. It's not just a straightforward kind of, sherry bomb. I think there's a lot more here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read the tasting notes.
Do it.
So aromas of macadamias and crazy python fruit jellies, followed by walnut crusted pork tenderloin. Diluted, it turned a nutty corner. Which we have a whiskey.
Let me dilute it. Let me see that nutty corner.
Yeah, called Turned into a Nutty Corner. Remember this one? Yeah. That's interesting. So yeah, this is 7.237, 12-year Speyside in a first fill ex sherry butt at 58.4% ABV, called Nutty by Nature. Any sulfuric notes? Are you getting any sulfur on this?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No. I think with the water, fruit comes out a little bit more. The spicy and nuttiness kind of gets pushed back a little bit, which is not a bad thing. I think it just layers it even more. It cuts down any of the ethanol that I was getting on the side, on the mid palate. I think... this is one of the whiskeys that water really, I think, helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Not like making it better, but it didn't go better or worse. It just, I think, was a completely different whiskey, and that was fun.
I think my favorite thing about this is that it is kind of more of that nutty, savory, almost quality, and the very end you get that burst of that fruit sweetness, which I really enjoy. Mm-hmm. That gusher at the end.
Yeah, it's fun. It's different. I like that.
All right.
Oh, we got one more.
We have 6 under our belt. I still have a work day ahead of me out here on the West Coast.
I do not. I have a drinking day ahead of me.
So we have one final whiskey to share with you all. And let me get a glass so I can pour it because, again, I'm behind. And we couldn't leave this tasting without a little bit of peat.
My favorite.
I would never host a tasting without some peat in it. So that That had to happen. Look at that beautiful green strip on that, Zach.
I just can't wait.
It's okay. Zach leaves all the peat alone for all of us who love peated whiskeys. We don't have to worry about Zach swooping in and taking any of them away from us.
Nope.
So they're all for us.
I take one for the team by drinking this for you guys.
Oh, is that how you feel? So, the last and final cask of our October Outturn preview tasting. Now I'm kind of sad. I feel like this has been a journey to get through all of these today. I know. I'm kind of bummed. All right. So the last and final one is Cask 16.45 Womble Pie. This is a 6-year Highland in a recharred hogshead at 66.3% ABV.
I need to ask before we get anywhere. Does anybody in the chat know what Womble Pie is? I would love to know, because it's a cool name.
Fill us in.
But I don't know what it is.
I've not Googled it.
I have not used the Goobs.
We are relying strictly on you all to fill us in as to what Womble Pie is. I'm going to turn this bottle. I'm not even going to read the tasting notes on it.
I would love for you to read these tasting notes because I brought it up before. These tasting notes have been some of the most interesting tasting notes I've ever read in my life. And it's going to be a journey drinking this whiskey.
Ooh, I'm excited. Our 16, so I haven't seen many 16s in the time that I've personally been with the society. But I feel like we're getting more of them now, which is really exciting because I think that, you know, even though it's a Highland style peat that we're getting, I have found that these particular whiskeys have been really meaty and really dense. And it's different. You're not getting that like seaweed, briny, kind of like maritime peat, but you're getting just like a really hearty, earthy, like wooded peat. And I really like that. So
yeah. Now before you read these tasting notes, I'm gonna come out and say that this is an intriguing nose. This is something that if someone gave it to me, I would not shy away from being like, "Ooh, it smells nice. Let me try
it." It
this.
does. All right, I'm gonna pull up the real tasting notes.
These are the
unedited
full version that is website material.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
I guess we'll cap this one up. We'll read the tasting notes first, and then we'll dig into what we actually think of the whiskey. So it says, a rather bonkers initial aroma of dark soil, smoked plasticine, lashings of pickled mackerel, and farmy cowsheds. Fire embers, game meats, mutton, smoked goat cheese. Oh, I love a good goat cheese. Horse and mud, which I grew up riding horses, so I would find this appealing. You know, hearing horse sweat and mud, like that was my childhood, literally in 4 words. That was it. Baled hay. Oh my gosh, this is a whiskey. This was made for me.
It says your name on it.
This is just Jenna's whiskey.
Jenna Pie.
Baled hay, hints of silage, smoked earth, and barbecue brisket. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. This is ridiculous. I haven't even read these, and this is a whiskey literally made for me. Barbecue brisket with a good dash of hot sauce. Water brought out even more funky and hefty farmyard aromas. Lots of autumnal sooty notes, smoked green peppers, charred vegetables, chipotle chili, tractor engine parts. Old haylofts and sheep fink. The palate opened with sweet Thai green curry, smoked pork ribs, and Belgian saison beers. Laps and souchong, smoked herring, herbal cigarettes, and muddy fishing wellies. With water, there emerged some kind of heated turnip with WD-40 bite chains. Boiler fug, which I'm not 100% sure what that is. Old copper coins, chimney soot, and fermented soy broth. This is probably my favorite tasting notes of all time.
If you give me a second, I'm going to go lick my bike chain and see if it's similar. Because this doesn't smell like that. This smells really good.
This is this is made for me. I'm so excited to taste this. I mean, I literally grew up in muddy boots, riding horses in a farm, like on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
That was my childhood, and this just
keep going to taste it because it's so intriguing, and I gotta keep myself back.
All right, let's taste it. Cheers.
Let's do it. Oh God, here we go, guys.
This is it. What a perfect whiskey to end on. This is so hearty and, again, so meaty, but there is like an earthy muddiness to this that I absolutely adore. I love those earthy kind of funky notes in my whiskey, and this just totally just checks all of those boxes.
You just stole the words right out of my mouth. This is like bell pepper, like sweet bell pepper, meaty, gamey, chewy. Like it gives you a little bit of like they said bike chain or tractor parts. Like there's some sort of mechanical note to it.
Yeah.
That like you go to the shop to get your car worked on. But it's in the most interesting way. And I will say with my amazing love for Pete that this is actually pretty good.
I mean, I can kind of list off many things I love about this particular whiskey. One, as a huge fan of just pie in general, the fact that it is called Womble Pie, which I think somebody actually let us know Womble Pie is.
Yeah. Gregor said Womble is a fictional kids character that kind of looks like a hedgehog.
Oh, interesting. And then he said, if it were America, you'd call this a Fraggle Pie, maybe. Like Fraggle Rock? Did you watch Fraggle Rock? Are you too young for that, Zach? Oh, man, you just made me feel real old.
Sorry. Have another drink or two. You'll get over it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think this is such a robust whiskey and flavor. I mean, it is just firing on all cylinders, this whiskey. Man, that is.
This is a. So interesting. I could literally sit here and smell this. Like, just picture yourself sitting out in Scotland on the porch, overlooking like the Highlands, and you got some tractors running in the background. You got one single road running through everything, all the fields. This is just, it's fascinating. I mean, it's crazy that something can smell like this and make your brain work so hard to think about it so long.
Yes. This is definitely one of those whiskeys that, really kind of racks your mind, and you can really dig into this for quite some time. That is a lot of fun. And thank you to everyone who is coming to my defense on Fraggle Rock and not making me feel like a relic here, Zach. Do you even know what Fraggle Rock is?
I don't.
Oh my gosh. All right, I quit. I'm done with you.
Okay. We'll talk about like 90s things next time. I'll know what those are.
Fraggle Rock? Oh my goodness. So thank you to everyone out there who also enjoyed a good Fraggle Rock. I don't feel so alone. Thanks, Zach.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, this is...
My dog is eating things next to me. So.
Oh my goodness. All right. 16.45 Womble Pie, a 6-year Highland in a recharred hogshead. And touching on that recharred hogshead, you definitely get that good charry quality to this. I think that element is definitely there. And I think it really encompasses that whole just earthy, muddy, just, I don't know. I'm like just picturing myself in the Highlands with the tractors and muddy boots, and there's sheep and hairy coos and the whole scene. This really just definitely paints a picture, but you definitely get that beautiful charred quality to this.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most storybook-esque whiskeys that I've had in a long time, where it really truly does paint a picture. You can sit down, you close your eyes, you smell it, and you can picture yourself inside of this almost painting.
I agree.
Oh
yeah,
man,
this is a fun one.
I'm gonna still leave all the bottles for you, but this is very fun.
Yeah, and I love that it's at 6 years old. It's, I was just having a conversation with some big Isla malt makers over the past couple of days, and I asked a lot of questions about, young peated whiskeys. And I think that peated whiskeys, whether they're from Isla, Speyside, the Highlands, I think that they show so beautifully. And young peated whiskeys have so much, they're so character forward. They are just so robust and so full of flavor. And I think that, anytime I see a young peated whiskey, I get pretty excited because they've been really outstanding.
Yeah. No, this one is, I've got to say, the last one that I really enjoyed this much was our 10 dot. Oh God, that came out for Fagile.
The Fagile, yeah.
About being in like devil fire, raining down fire rocks, and like it truly, it definitely transports you to another place. I mean, it's such an interesting bottle.
It really is. Yeah, I think that this is just a really just beautiful representation of what a young peated whiskey can be. I mean, this really just checks all the boxes. So, but speaking of 10 dots, Zach, here you have the full list of our October Outturn.
I might.
Would you maybe share that with us?
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, take another sip of that whiskey and think about it. Because I know we have some really fantastic whiskeys coming out for October. So, all right.
Here we are.
Can you zoom in on that? All right. Get your screenshot buttons ready. Here it is,
Tomorrow,
the full October Outturn.
That's where it is.
Ooh, some really good stuff in there. I'm excited about that 10 dot.
More than twice. Everybody, take a look. I see a heavily peated in there. That's the dark green.
Yeah, I've seen one of those in a while.
It has. I can't tell you the last time we had one, honestly. Granted, I don't look for them. But it's called Simply Peat. I mean, a recharred hogshead at 6 years old. I mean, that just sounds fantastic.
It really does sound fantastic. What else is in there? It's so small I can't see it, so you have to read it off to us.
Can I zoom in a little bit more? Is that good?
There we go.
Okay. There.
Oh, we got an old and dignified in there. A 27-year. That's exciting. Mm-hmm. Ooh, a 46. I remember what we had was that our US exclusive 46 that we had back in 2018. Let's see. Oh, I feel like I need a magnifying glass or some spectacles on top of the ones I already wear.
Oh, trying hard.
There we go. That's good. That's perfect.
Okay. Boom.
That'll give people an opportunity to do a quick little screenshot of what is coming out. Yeah. General Custard. Ooh, another 35. Those 35s have been just absolutely
They're running the
brilliant.
show.
They really are. They've been absolutely brilliant, absolutely beautiful. So there she is. Yeah, look at that.
Here too, from light and delicate, spicy and dry, rich and dried fruits, peated, heavily peated, old and dignified.
Yeah, we've got what seems to be a really good selection of casks that are coming out. Even though it's a little smaller than maybe our one last month, I think that, there's some really great drams in there. Happy Daydreaming. I do love that. That's a good name.
It does. It sounds great.
Yeah. Well,
Man.
all right.
Hey, well.
So there it is, full October Outturn.
Yeah. Well.
So again, just to kind of touch on what we touched on in the beginning, our winning email for our lottery for 30.111 has gone out. So be sure to go, if you entered in that lottery, to go and check your email to see if you are a winner for that. I know you can order that online if you are a winner, or you can give us a call and we'll be happy to do it for you over the phone. So this was a lot of fun, Zach.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. This is one of the most, I'd say this has to be one of the most diverse tastings we've done in quite a while.
It really kind of took us all over the place, and it was quite the journey. And I'm very grateful to be here on a Monday in the middle of a pandemic and tasting whiskey with you. So thank you.
It's always a pleasure. Well, I'm sure we'll talk to a few of you guys tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time. We will be there with all of these casks available. Feel free to give us a call. If you did win the drawing for the 30.111, know that you can combine that with any of these bottles tomorrow. Simply, if you place it today, just type it in your notes. If you do not and you want to wait until tomorrow, you have, I believe, 48 hours to place that order?
48 hours, yeah.
You should be able to place it all at the same time when these come out. But otherwise, I mean, I look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow and getting some more drinks in us.
Yeah, I think we've got a good tasting under our belt. We'll be able to kind of explain these in further depth. If anybody has any further questions on any of the ones that we tasted today, give us a call and we'll be happy to chat about it.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
All right. Well,
hey,
Zach,
until next time, I'm sure we'll have some whiskeys to share.
I appreciate the company. So cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Bye.
See ya.